Yunnan's University School of History and Archives, together with Sanxingdui Museum, has established a training facility for graduate students. Guo Zicheng felt very excited after learning about the chance to participate in archaeological excavation at the Sanxingdui site in his hometown.
These bronze look exquisite now, but they were often in a severely damaged state when unearthed. They've all been restored. That's what my father does for a living. He specializes in restoring such magnificent bronzes.
Has your father encountered any challenges while restoring cultural relics?
Yes, like the restoration of the massive bronze sacred tree in Sanxingdui.
Guo Hanzong, Guo Zicheng's father, is a cultural relic restorer at the Sanxingdui Museum. He has dedicated over 30 years to restoring cultural relics, bringing back to life over 6,000 pieces of damaged bronze, ceramic, stone, and jadeware.
Actually, before I went to college, I knew little about my father's profession. All I knew is that he works at a museum. Personally, he is a serious man.
Guo Zicheng now realizes the significance of being a restorer, as well as his own duties and missions from his father's unwavering dedication.
He had always wanted me to learn the art of cultural relics restoration from him. Initially, I declined this opportunity, but after working as a college graduate village official for 2 years, I gradually realized that maybe a career in restoration is what I want.
Cultural relics are silent but precious. Generations of archaeologists have dedicated themselves to the field, preserving a rich legacy for future successors engaged in Chinese archaeology. They have made the damaged cultural relics reborn, enabling us to gain profound insight into history. In midsummer, the Chengdu Plain embraces the rice harvest season. Today, a tense atmosphere prevails in a shed at the Sanxingdui archaeological site. Pit 3 is about to witness the unveiling of another important artifact. It is strange in shape, distinct from any previously unearthed at the site, and its purpose remains enigmatic. Before its official designation, it was playfully referred to as the mystery artifact. The moment it is unearthed, a heated discussion is ignited.
Is this man lying like this? And this is another man?
In the early days, people used the square wooden tables for lion dance. They stacked the tables on top of each other, with one person entering to hold the top table in place. Maybe they were performing a traditional lion dance. A dragon stepped on his head. This is acrobatics.
There's a guy lying like this.
That's just incredible.
These newly unearthed artifacts are always surprising, simultaneously stimulating our greater curiosity. As the excavation progresses, Sanxingdui becomes increasingly mysterious. Slowly but surely, the number 3 bronze sacred tree, unearthed from Pit 2 in 1986, emerges from the warehouse. A total of 69 pieces are lined up. Of the bronze artifacts unearthed at that time, this is a relatively complete and detailed one. This dedicated team led by Guo Jianbo will perform experimental digital repair on the fragments. Today marks the first step, data collection.
We found 69 small fragments of the number 3 bronze sacred tree, and the most challenging task is reassembling the broken branches. Over the years, these fragments have undergone wear and rounding, resulting in a relatively less tight fit between them. This poses a major obstacle to our restoration.
We use this handheld laser scanner to gather data on each of the 69 pieces of the sacred tree. All the specifics of each piece are reproduced in a one-to-one manner. With the use of 5G internet technology, we are able to restore the fragments to their original state as a sacred tree.
By employing computer-based 3D simulation reassembly, we can pre-restore the sacred tree without causing any harm to the artifact. Careful observation shows that some parts of the sacred tree are covered with gold leaf. Does this mean that the whole tree was originally encased in gold? In this new round of excavation, is it possible to find the missing parts? This is the greatest expectation of Guo Hanzong and Guo Jianbo. Just like pits 3 and 4, pits 7 and 8 also yield a significant amount of ivory. Lei Yu believes that the ancient Shu people may have adopted similar landfill methods for these sacrificial pits. As ivory is removed, some artifacts gradually emerge. Li Haichao writes in his log for archaeological discovery. Li Haichao believes that, different from other pits, Pit 7 may be a pit of jadeware.
In the middle or over there?
What do you think?
It may be better to put it in the middle.
A
Wait,
little higher. It's not that heavy. Though we must still handle all cultural relics with extreme care.
This is the largest bronze mask ever unearthed. Researchers will clean it up and extract information before restoring it.
observing and extracting surface information is the first step we take for all the artifacts we have discovered.
As the protection technology of cultural relics improves, there is an increasing need to gather more information. Guo Jinbo and Ren Jinfeng have gotten used to such work norms. Besides recording the size, weight, and material information, it is also necessary to take photographs of the sample's position and proportion following each sampling. They know that with the utmost demanding requirements, the vast amount of information collected would serve as a strong basis for future restoration and research. Recently, the number of bronzeware unearthed has increased significantly, placing the Cultural Relics Restoration Room in a state of bustling activity.
What's that?
You can take it down.
Well, not really. Is this pigment? I didn't recognize it just now. It's emerald pigment powder. Is that enough?
That's enough. Just mark the location clearly.
The large bronze mask's left ear had come off from the main body, and the fracture has been deformed to varying degrees. Repairing it using conventional methods is challenging. After careful observation, Guo Hanzong makes a temporary fixed shelf and completes the mask in a non-destructive way.
Help me get that thread together. Let me take a picture. Okay.
However, not all cultural relics have a smooth road to rebirth. Ren Jinfeng and his colleagues found that most of the artifacts in Sanxindui were destroyed and then buried. They were seriously damaged and rusted away. Some were even incomplete. Preliminary cleaning also entails the pairing and positioning of fragments.
Oh, that's it. They're connected together.
Are these 2 feet?
It was broken, and then it was tied to the body with copper wire. Maybe. The ancients thought it was unstable, so they fixed it with copper wire.
While cleaning up, Guo Jianbo notices several anomalous pieces of soil.
There are white and black ones. It's a little weird. Is there anything in it? There might be pigments. This piece of black soil is quite large and appears distinct from the soil we previously discovered. I'll test it out to see if it is carbon black.
This gives Guo Jianbo a new imagination about the purpose of the mystery.
If this object proves to be a pipe, we assume it's probably a flute. If it turns out to be a flute, we can speculate about its function. A lamp, for example. Why is it hollow in the middle? We must first think about why it is hollow. There may be a specific purpose.
These cultural relics have been sleeping underground for over 3,000 years, and the traces of time have covered one layer after another. How to bring back their former glory. How to interpret their past and present. Today, every move of archaeologists matters.
Now the shed can keep out the rain, which is much better than before. We have strict requirements here. You have to wear protective clothing before entering the pit to prevent other things from falling in. Take this one. It's 185 centimeters.
After completing the internship procedures, Guo Zicheng is just in time for the peak of ivory excavation in pits 7 and 8. Although he has learned a lot of theories in school, Guo Zicheng still seems nervous at the real scene.
Shall I go up? I'm going up.
Wait. When she's done, then you go up there.
Actually, there are technical details in each step. That does look easy, but in practice, it's more complicated.
From theory to practice, Guo Zicheng knows that he still has a long way to go before becoming a qualified archaeologist. Nearly 300 pieces of ivory, unearthed from the re-excavation, are stored here, and the staff must check them regularly to ensure that they are in good condition. The restoration and preservation of ivory has long been a global challenge. Environmental factors like temperature and humidity can affect the fragile ivory. Microbes are even more deadly. Until new preservation techniques are available, only manual cleaning is feasible to delay erosion.
Honestly, what concerns me most is the protection of ivory. Initially, there must be 200 or more pieces of ivory. There are only 14 people in our team. How to protect so much ivory? We still have a long way to go in the interdisciplinary research on cultural relics protection.
According to experts, the ivory in pits 7 and 8 must be unearthed as soon as possible. However, Xie Zhenbin is short-handed and has to work overtime.
Oh, here, look. We even get a retired colleague here. Then you're coming down with me.
Director Xie was down there all day last night and the day before yesterday.
Oh, really? As all the ivory is exposed, we must unearth them as soon as possible. We still have a lot of work to do next, including cleaning the unearthed ivory.
Over 300 pieces of ivory are exposed in pits 7 and 8. Due to the restricted working area, even with overnight shifts, they can unearth a maximum of 6 or 7 pieces each day. Guo Hanzhong and his son are also there for overtime excavation. In front of his father, Guo Zicheng feels nervous but reassured. During this time, bearing in mind his father's warning to see more, think more, and learn more, the future archaeologist has made rapid progress.
I'll check the other side. It's not convenient this side. I can't see it. This side is worse.
I see it.
Where?
Here.
Did you see the
Right
eye
here,
of the needle?
right here. It moved just now.
The mud moved. Wait.
This is the first archaeological cooperation between the father and son.
Be careful. Move slowly.
At this moment, they are not only father and son, but also comrade in arms. Guo Hanzhong is pleased that his son could continue his career path.
As a young man, he should study and practice more. Just like as an intern, he did a good job.
As the excavation progress accelerates, the pressure on cultural relics protection is increasing. Just as Xie Zhenbin feels overwhelmed by the shortage of hands, he is overjoyed by the arrival of several special guests.
In this way, there's a mutual flow of personnel. I came with 2 colleagues. One is Jin Dazhao, who specializes in restoration, and the other is from our laboratory. They'll work together to assist you in protecting the bronzeware well. We know you have a lot of work to do. We are here to do some detailed work and get some specifications and standards done.
The Palace Museum, where Xu Liang and his colleagues work, will establish in-depth cooperation with the Sichuan Provincial Cultural Relics and Archaeology Research Institute in the protection and restoration of bronzes. Now is the critical moment for bronze excavation. Unlike organic ivory, the biggest threat to bronze is rust. Liu Jianyu from the Palace Museum discovers a special kind of copper rust.
We all know that the common rust of bronzewares appears in various shades of green and occasionally blue, but this time we see some yellow rust. This is rare in bronze rust. In the process of restoration, we will check what kind of state the rust is in, whether it is stable and whether it will further corrode the bronzewares. We need to evaluate the corrosivity of the rust. Tin accounts for 36%.
This yellow rust immediately attracts everyone's attention. Ren Junfeng worked with experts in cultural relics preservation from the Palace Museum to sample as many different bronzewares as possible. Bronze is the earliest alloy in the history of metal smelting and casting. Adding tin or lead to red copper can lower the melting point and facilitate manufacturing. After thousands of years, these artifacts have been corroded and oxidized to a blue-green color known as bronzewares. Bronzewares are usually covered with a stable layer of bronze rust. While some copper rust is quite dangerous, such harmful rust will make cultural relics continue to rust, perforate, and finally turn into powder. So what is the composition of the rust? Will it cause further damage to the cultural relics? Back in Beijing, the Palace Museum's team of experts in cultural relics preservation immediately begin to analyze the mysterious yellow copper rust.
This is a new sample of the kneeling statue. There is some yellow rust as well as some light blue rust.
This kind of yellow rust is really rare on bronzeware.
This substance, like the one we measured today, is lead tin yellow.
Oh, it's really lead tin yellow.
Yes, it is clear from the spectrogram.
While waiting for the analysis results, Jin Dazhao also sets about restoring the copper cauldron unearthed in Luojaba site, Sichuan. As its soil and preservation environment are similar to Sanxindui, it may be helpful for the future restoration of cultural relics in Sanxindui. At 2 o'clock in the afternoon, it's time for the video connection again. Recently, video calls between the Palace Museum and Sanxindui have become part of their daily work.
As for the stannic oxide or lead carbonate or powdery rust, we have two suggestions. One is to keep the environment strictly controlled, and the other is to keep monitoring, especially where the rust already exists.
Now, the mystery has been officially named as Bronze Statue with Altars on the Head. Researchers are curious about how it was cast. Is it a one-time casting, or is it a casting made up of several parts? Guo Jianbo and Xiao Qing conduct flaw detection tests on it, trying to solve the mystery.
This part is a hole. It's empty and inserted. We got a good shot of this, just enough to show the connection between the parts.
Is there molten copper in this?
Yes, that's good. This is a remarkable feature of Sanxingdui bronze casting. First, small parts were cast. These parts were then riveted or cast together, for example, by molten copper or some other casting methods. This is a distinct casting feature of Sanxingdui compared with other areas.
Here comes the fish.
As summer is coming to an end, Guo Zicheng will finish his internship and return to school. Guo Hanzong has invited his old friend and apprentice to give his son a farewell dinner.
Anyway, I hope you study hard at school. People of our generation, due to the hard condition, had little education. We are poorly educated and weak in knowledge, but we certainly have more hands-on experience than your generation. Put simply, you have to observe and practice more about everything, step by step. Start with the easy ones, especially in your major. Now let's propose a toast to Uncle Yang first. Cheers!
During the dinner, the tipsy Guo Hanzhong is in a talkative mood.
People in our time were not very educated. You have to take your chance, along the way, together with senior or junior fellow apprentices. I have learned a lot from my master. What really keeps you going is your patience and perception. I never thought I'd been in this line of work all my life. Whatever you do, you have to take everything seriously and figure out everything, especially about the technology.
After drinking for a while, Guo Hanzhong looks back at his ups and downs. He was about the same age as his son when he started his career. He got to where he is today through hard work and passion. As the times progress, archaeological technology is also undergoing rapid changes. For the new generation of archaeologists, this represents both opportunities and challenges. Phased results have been made in the digital restoration of bronzewares, and the number 3 bronze sacred tree is presented to evaluation experts in a virtual forum.
We used animation to simulate the recovery process of these fragments. According to the animation, we got a restored version and then a gilded version. Here, take a look. It's not gilded. He made a mistake.
Actually, it's covered with gold leaf.
All experts question the gilded description regarding the number 3 bronze sacred tree.
The number 3 bronze sacred tree should be partially covered with gold leaf. First, it is not gilded. Second, if gold leaf is applied, it should be done partially, not entirely. We are certain about this.
No technology can be developed overnight. Just like other cutting-edge technologies, the digital restoration of cultural relics is still constantly revised and optimized under such rigorous reviews by experts. In a corner office on the 4th floor of the Sanxingdui Institute of Archaeology, Luo Zeyun started his day's work. Most of what has been cleared up so far are small artifacts. This comes easily to Luo Zeyun, who had drawn the bronze standing figure.
I must observe how the decorative patterns were made and what the patterns are. As there are 2 or 3 pattern layers, I must accurately portray all 3 layers in my drawing. So how to achieve that? I use lines of varying thicknesses. People often ask, why do you still draw pictures? Photos are fine. After all, the local patterns in a photo can be enlarged, but it doesn't show the whole sense of the patterns, so we can draw a picture to show that.
Camera photography, digital rubbings, and even the newly accepted 3D scanning digital restoration. Various new technologies are constantly changing the archaeological and cultural relics protection industry. Luo Zeyun, however, believes that among these changes, some things will remain the same as the cultural relics in their hands.
Scan to pay, right?
Yes, just show me your payment code.
Guess why I want to buy you pears today. Firstly, I hope you will succeed in your studies. Secondly, we're very lucky to live where Sangxingdui is located. Sangxingdui culture is now world famous. Your major happens to be relevant to the industry. Just try your best to complete your studies. Don't worry too much about anything else. I'll gradually pass on my knowledge to you.
Okay.
Put on your mask.
Back at school, Luo Zicheng is suddenly enlightened. He knows he has finally found the perfect place in his life, and archaeology would always be the central axis leading to his future. Following in his father's footsteps, he will go even further. Although each generation of archaeologists encounter different historical situations, they never give up. We must be dedicated to our original aspiration that will lead us to a better future.
Today, we are here to unveil the China-Greece, the Belt and Road Joint Laboratory of Cultural Heritage Conservation, Sangxingdui Workstation.
We have experts and young people from different institutions and universities here. At the same archaeological site, they use their different expertise to promote the excavation and protection of Sangxingdui sacrificial pits. I'm deeply impressed by the open and inclusive attitude of archaeological and cultural circles in Sichuan.
The best way to commemorate history is to make new history. Today, this ancient land is witnessing the golden age of Chinese archaeology and embracing the world with an open and inclusive mind. Although 3,000 years have passed in the blink of an eye, these scattered cultural relics have shown us rich and diverse human civilizations. As our shared memories, they will be reborn in our hands.